That I will leave it to Dr. Eric Muringo, who will handle that question exhaustively. So do not take that question. That's a humble request. Don't take the question on why is today's webinar not on the PPP portal. Dr. Eric Muringo is going to take us through that. So without further much ado, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome our CEO to probably give us her welcoming remarks. And karibu sana daktari.
Thank you, Mbao. Welcome, everyone. The purpose of this webinar is to explain the common questions that we get about CPD requirements or how to obtain your CPDs. The Pharmacy Poisons Board is here to explain the number of CPD points that will be required during the year, and also to explain the technical issues from their side in terms of getting your points. So as Mbao explained, please post your questions in the Q&A tab as the webinar progresses, and Eric and Dr. Eric and Dr. Lily will answer them at the end of this webcast. I'd like to check if Dr. Ochieng has joined. Yes, he has. Dr. Mashoku is also here. Great. So I would like to introduce Dr. Louis Mashoku, who is the president of PSK, to give his welcome remarks, this being the beginning of a new CPD year and a new membership here at PSK. Karibu sana, Dr. Louis Mashoku.
Yeah, thank you, Daniela, Dr. Daniela, and members present. Happy New Year and welcome all to this session. As you all know, CPDs are critical for just professional engagement and just getting updates, especially during this season of COVID. You're a community pharmacist, you're a hospital pharmacist, you're getting public, coming to you and making inquiries. When will we get our vaccine? So it's very important to just know and understand, the dynamics of from the pharmacoeconomics parts of it to supply chain and distribution. Remember the vaccines, we are being told we'll have to have storage of minus up to 20, and how do you distribute that in country? And just also engage with each other, knowing what else other players in the country doing, even as we await the vaccine that's probably coming by end of first quarter. Yeah, so really you're at the right place. So this year we've ramped up our CPD partnerships and things of that nature. So let's see what the team delivers for us. But on the other side, also just to reiterate our partnership with the Pharmacy and Poisons Board. Remember PSK, we were the first to set this whole thing of CPDs in an online fashion, and we're actually very happy and that PPP sort of took it up, adopted it, and are running with it, and we are just very happy to be just playing our role in all this. So thank you. Feel welcome. I think this year we are gunning for, it could be 40 points. We wait for PPP to confirm. It's still 20 at the portal, but we'll be gunning for 40 points. So let's see what our colleagues on the board will be telling us. And we are looking forward to getting your input on or feedback or questions on how the experience has been and what you're looking forward to the year. Thank you. Daniela, back to you.
Asante sana, Mr. President. I would now like to welcome the Director of Training and Practice at the Pharmacy and Poisons Board, Dr. Wilfred Ochieng. Karibu sana, and in your welcome remarks, please mention the number of CPD points that you're expecting our members to attain by the end of 2021. Karibu sana.
Asante. Thank you, CEO. Good afternoon, colleagues. I'm happy to join you today for this session. And in opening remarks, what I'd like to say is that all of us know why we have to undertake continuing professional development. In this country, we have an aspiration to offer the highest attainable standard of health possible, and that includes pharmaceutical services. So in order to keep acquiring new skills and competencies, and also in order to respond to the changing environment. I think it's very important that all of us, irrespective of where you practice, undertake CPD. It's not supposed to be a punitive thing, because this is a common practice worldwide across professions, not just the pharmacy profession alone. And the tying of CPD to renewal of licenses, again, is also still a worldwide practice and not applicable to Kenya only. Actually, as we've been lagging behind, previous assessments of PPB, this is one of the areas which the assessors had identified that we are lagging behind in terms of implementing CPD. So that's why PPB decided to move a little bit faster. We started this with PSK and KPA many years back, but I think we were a bit slow in implementation. So now that we have gone online, I think online is giving us a better opportunity to implement CPD. And I must say that 2020 was a very interesting year, because we plunged into this and quite a number of people are not able to attain the minimum points that were required on time, so that we ended up with people undertaking remedial CPD to acquire the right number of points before they could renew their licenses. But I hope going forward, now that we are going to entrench this as a culture, I know we are going to be able to, everybody will be able to comply on time, so that we don't delay renewal of licenses for any reason, especially related to CPD. I've been asked to comment about the number of points that will be required for 2021 licenses. Some time back, when we realized there was a bit of a problem in getting compliance, mainly related to two issues. One of them is that there were very few opportunities for people to undertake CPD, and also that a lot of people are still not sensitized enough to undertake CPD. We requested the board, because the guidelines provide that the minimum number of points should be 40 for renewal of licenses. But we put a case before the board and requested that the board allows for 2020 points to be reduced to 20 only. And that's what we implemented last year. At the moment, we don't have a board, so whether that decision will continue going forward, I think we'll still have to, if the new board is appointed, we'll have to brief the board, and if there are any changes that need to be made, I think that will be communicated. But at the moment in the portal, it remains at 20, and that is what we are using to renew 2021 licenses. So maybe progressively, the board may decide to go back to the original number of points that was that is in the guidelines. The guidelines also need to be reviewed a bit, and when we start to do that, I think we will engage you as stakeholders so that we keep improving with time. Otherwise, I don't want to bore you with much. Just want to say thank you for the invitation, and I hope we'll be able to answer some of the questions that you have regarding CPD. Thank you very much. Over back to you, CEO.
Asante sana, Dr. Ochieng, for those opening remarks and the explanation about the points. We are hoping that a board can be constituted soon, so that so that it doesn't affect any of our CPD plans. I'd like to hand over the meeting back to the moderator, Mbao Gitao, to take us through the rest of the program.
Asante, Daktari. So ladies and gentlemen, without further much ado, allow me to stop sharing my screen and allow Dr. Eric Muringu, the National CPD Coordinator at PSK, to share his screen. Dr. Eric Muringu, are you with us?
Yes, I am, Bao.
I've stopped sharing my screen, so I hand over this opportunity, Daktari, for you to now take us through your CPD presentation. And I remind members, kindly ensure that you post your questions on the Q&A and the chat box. We will respond them from there. Asante sana.
Thank you, Mbao, for inviting me for this opportunity. and the introduction. It's been, I can comment on last year. I think we made a lot of progress in terms of increasing the number of people that met the cut of 20 points before the year ended. But still we have some members who have not quite clearly understood what we do with CPD and how and where to claim CPD. I'm saying this because I've just seen a question that says that a member had 40 points on the PSK portal and they have none on the PPB portal. It should be clear to everyone that right now, all CPD, everything CPD is done on the PPB portal because that's where renewals are done, license renewals. So my name is Eric. I'll be taking you through what we do as PSK to enable our members attain the required points. So I'll be talking about why we have CPD. That is one. That is largely to, I'll be quoting a lot from the health amendment that happened in 2019. Then I'll take you through the portal, how to subscribe, self-reporting, and claiming tokens. Normally, I usually do this live, but today I have screenshots, and I think we all have interacted with the portal to understand how we do it. Basically, this is something that many people know, so it's just a reminder. Number 3, I'll share some updates, which I'm glad that we have Dr. Cheng and Dr. Lily today, who are likely to shed more light on some of the things that we've gotten from the board. Lastly, as an addition, I'll take you through the PSK portal, and please note that the PSK portal, right now, we only do it for, what we do on the PSK portal is annual membership renewal certificates. That's where a member applies, it's approved, and they get it. So we don't do any CPD claims on the PSK portal anymore. So right to my presentation, why do we have CPD? These are snapshots of the current CAP 244 as it is. These are changes that happened in the health amendment laws of 2019. So it is in the law right now that every registered pharmacist must have a valid practicing license. Like when you check the last snapshot screenshot here, number K, this is a function of the board, which is to establish, approve, and accredit continuing professional educational programs for pharmacists and farm techs. When you look at the top one, issue of practicing license, you'll get a practicing license if the board is satisfied that you undertook continuous professional development in the preceding year. So you have to satisfy the board. That's why they've put the cut-off point of 20. Continuous professional development now is a clause in the CAP 244. And that means that every registered pharmacist shall undertake continuous professional development as prescribed by the board. So it is in the law right now. Some of the questions I've always gotten from our members is, why is it that it's PPB doing it and not PSK? PSK, we are providers, but it's PPB that is accrediting, and it is in the law. So that is the law as it is. Everyone has to have a valid practicing license. That is number 4 down there. If you don't have it, that construes professional misconduct. Something else here, who now, when we say that everyone has to have a valid license, so who? Are there some practitioners that are exempted from this? So it is basically someone who does the practice of pharmacy in dispensing, manufacture, compounding of drugs and medicine, offering pharmaceutical care. Number B, someone who advertises themselves by title, by sign, display, declaration as a pharmacist. And doesn't matter where you work, you could be working in a hospital, an NGO, any organization, research institution, academia. You should mark the last one that is highlighted, or any other institution to have a valid practicing license. So that means that all of us, pharmacists, members of PSK, we need to have a valid practicing license, and you cannot get this one without having the CPD points that are stipulated and that board advises from time to time if it's 20 or 40. So it is in the law now for you to have a practicing license. That is one. To get to develop yourself professionally. And as long as you call yourself, you refer yourself by the title pharmacist or doctor, that will be required of you. So that is why we are doing CPD. So PSK, we are a provider. Many people different institutions can apply to be providers as long as they have a registered pharmacist in that organization. So that includes hospitals, private hospitals, even government hospitals. And I've also seen some companies, also manufacturing companies, offering CPD programs. Then, so what happens when you log into your PPB portal? I'm sure this one you've seen it. This is the section that you see the moment you log in. You can see the CPD score of 2020 and 2021. So the one that matter for your renewal currently, as still we are doing renewals, is the 2020, the ones of the preceding year. Then the curfew pass, as long as you've applied your valid for a practice license, you'll have this icon of curfew pass will come. Self-reporting is where I'll be taking you through what you do with all of these icons, the CPD claim tokens and self-reporting. The others, you need them, but they are not for CPD. So subscribing, what does subscribing mean? When PSK sends an SMS saying that remember to subscribe on the PPB portal, and there's a link there for you to register, or when during the session we tell you remember to log into the PPB portal and subscribe, you need to differentiate that from the two things. There is one, registering to attend. So the Zoom registration link is for you to put your details there, commit yourself that you'll be attending, but that is not subscribing. That does not guarantee, does not secure your CPD points on the PPB portal. After doing that, you need to log in on the PPB portal, click under CPD. You'll find all these events that are happening by many providers, and you subscribe. Many people complain that I have clicked subscribe and it keeps telling me that I've already subscribed to that event. I always advise that when you click subscribe, for example, if you are to click subscribe on the first event on that list, once you click subscribe, you need to refresh that page then before you click on subscribe of another event. Because when you do all of them at once, some of them get lost and you only find that you subscribe to one. So differentiate between registering, even for a conference, even when you are paying, for example, to attend a conference, you pay your money, you register on the registration link. On top of that, you need to come to the PPB portal and subscribe, because without you subscribing, it's impossible to help you once the event has passed, because these events appear until the day they have an expiry date. So after they have happened, you're not likely to find an event on the PPB portal. So that's how you subscribe. When you subscribe, you will see the subscribe button changes from black to this other color, which I'll call gray. Allow me to call gray, it could be white, I'm not sure. So that's how you you ensure that you've subscribed. You can also confirm that your subscription was successful by going to the Claim Tokens tab. That's where all the events that you've subscribed to appear. So you'll know that because it's under the Claim Tokens that you'll claim the token that you received that PSK sends to you. So if you attend the event and you don't subscribe, then you won't find it under Claim Tokens. Then you'll call and say, I cannot find the event, but the day of subscription expired when the event happened. That's all about subscribing. As I continue, please feel free to type your question on the QA bar and I'll be answering at the end. Thank you. Claiming tokens. Now this happens when the event happens, we generate the tokens from the PPB portal. That is from the back end, from the provider's account. PSK has a provider's account that you download the tokens, then we send to you via GMAS, mail merge, and then you're able to claim it. So how do you claim a token? You have first to ensure that if I'm sending a token for the conference, let's say day 3 of the conference, and you subscribe for all of the days, which are 4, then if I send you all the tokens, day 1 to 4, you can only claim day 3 tokens under the day 3 that you subscribed, because tokens, they are not universal. They are not fit for all events. If the event is of day 3, you have to claim it against day 3. So if you are claiming on this window here that you can see that I screenshot there, if it doesn't read COVID-19 and pediatrics, then it can't work. It has to be that exact event. So this is where the confusion comes in. For example, you have an event that is organized by PSK, and you have a similar event that is organized by KPA. So when you subscribe to the KPA event and you don't subscribe to the PSK event, even if the events have the same name, let's say they're both sponsored by Sanofi and they're about enterogemina, for example, the token that you get, if I'm sending it from PSK, it can't work for you when you claim it against a KPA event. So it has to be the exact event. That's the reason why many of you, some of you get the error of an invalid token. It says error or invalid token or token expired. In that case, if truly you have contact checked your events, what I request is you screenshot that and reply back to the event to the email that you received the token. So the tokens, all tokens, we send them within a week. If it goes much, not more than 2 weeks from the happening of the event. Some of the things we check is whether you're a valid member, a bona fide member that is paid up. Or whether you are one of us, so you qualify, because this again is a benefit to our members. That's all about claiming tokens. So usually the errors are expired token or invalid token, but many times when that happens, it's someone claiming the token against an event that they are not, it's not the right one. So sometimes it's when we send tokens, they are stuck in the spam folder. Usually depending on the settings of your email, or just the email being flagged as a marketing message. So it is also good you check your spam folder. I advise also that we use personal emails instead of company emails. You don't want to send an email that is stuck at GSK, and again PSK will you'll still need PSK to communicate to you, even if you move your job from GSK to somewhere else. So personal emails are the best. Avoid company emails, which sometimes reject PSK emails. they have those firewalls. Next is self-reporting. We don't do much about self-reporting as PSK because this one, a member will apply, then it gets reviewed by PPB, and then you get your points. Yeah, so the categories that qualify in this self-reporting are any other thing that is not an event. It's not CME, a PSK CME, it's not a conference, but also if it's another event, for example, happening outside the country, or you've done your research work and you've published, that
Well, we seem to have lost Dr. Muringo. Is that correct?
Yes, Daktari, I'm trying to get hold of him. Let me see if we can get him right away.
Hello, Mbao. Can you hear me?
Hello, Daktari, we can hear you now.
Please remind me, where did I lose you from? I only noticed when my internet was reconnecting.
Okay, so you were beginning self-reporting, Daktari.
Self-reporting, okay.
Yes,
So under self-reporting, I was trying to explain that this is where you claim any other event that is not a PSK event. It could be an event that is not PSK. For example, if you attend an international conference, you can come here and claim it under self-reporting. If it's you've published a scientific paper, you can claim it under this, and many other things, including masters and PhD and such. Yeah, so these ones are reviewed and approved by PPB. PSK does not have a big role in this, only to show you how to claim. So at your own time, you can come and explore which event that you do or you've been doing qualifies here. These are all categories that are found in the CPD guidelines. So I'll mention some of the PPB updates, and maybe Dr. Cheng or Dr. Lily can shed more light. It's important that since it's in the law, that all pharmacists understand that you need to have a practice license in whatever area of practice. Usually there are some government hospitals that enforce this, some do not. For example, those in academia sometimes do not renew their license because they feel they are not in the actual clinical practice. But as you've seen in the CAP 244, the edited version, the amendments, it will be a requirement to have a valid practicing license for everyone who refers to themselves as a pharmacist by declaration, by display, or by title. Number two, PPB is working on a practice license that is tied or that is not tied to a facility, such that you don't have to be employed in a specific facility for you to have a valid license. I think this comes to the aid of many unemployed pharmacists, young pharmacists, who may need to do locums in different facilities, and that's a good thing. I think it's a plus. That way also, someone will not shy away from practicing from CPD programs because they don't feel their license will be needed anywhere. So CPD now has to be undertaken by everyone, in active practice or not. Yeah. The other update is that renewals happened between November. Last year they happened until even the whole year up to October. But the question is, when do you renew your license? So what PPB might be introducing soon to allow people to renew licenses between November and up to the end of the first quarter. Because if a pharmacist is renewing their license in October, how have they been practicing between January and October? Yeah, so we expect, if this one is implemented, we expect a closure of renewals before the end of the first quarter. I'm glad if I make any error in my communication here, I can be corrected because we have Dr. Lily on the call. Remedial programs, these ones, it's for members who did not the required points. So there'll be remedial CPD programs, but we are yet to get a direction for this. So that we know how to implement it better for members who did not meet the threshold of 20. That is all on PPB and the PPB portal. I want to move to a bit of what PSK portal is handling right now. And we've shared this quite a number of times. This is how you sign up as a new member. So I want to believe that many who joined are already members and they already have a PSK account. But what it means, usually the people who are most affected are those coming to PSK for the first time, or those who have been in PSK then were not there when we went online with our certificate, and they need to reactivate their accounts. So basically sign up, you'll visit our PSK portal and sign up. I quickly take you through the process. When you sign up, usually advise that you use your username because you're likely to use, if you use a short form of your name, for example, sometimes it's usually taken and or the system can say that is not a recognized name. So the username, if you can use your PPB registration number, that works best. You key in your preferred email address. Please avoid companies, company emails. Use your personal email because we also expect you to be a member of PSK for a long time and to advance in your career from one place to another. So your personal email is likely not to change. You put in your preferred password. That is basically what you do everywhere you're trying to create an account, an online account. Then when you register, you'll get a verification email in your at the email address that you have given. You complete the registration, edit your profile, put in your registration number. That's where the challenge comes in when if you had an old account, it will tell you that that number is in use. So in that case, you call the office and we are able to assist you from there. After you've saved all the changes, you keyed in all the changes, you saved them. From then, you'll be approved into the system, from where you can now be able to apply for your certificate. How do you apply for your certificate? This is how to, usually it is after you've paid your membership fee. If it's 10,000 for the full member, for the associates, it's 5,000. And then for the student members, it's 2,000. Then if you don't have your account, you set up the account as I've shown in the previous slide. Then you go to the Apply for Renewal tab, and then you choose. I'll show you in the next slide how you fill. There are 3 options: M-Pesa, bank deposits, checks, even it can also be cash. So you apply. After you've keyed in the details, you apply, then await for approval. This is how the application looks. It's for you to apply, you'll click on the green button, apply for renewal. Then choose which mode we renew for, 2021 or 2022. Mode of payment can be M-Pesa, can be cash, can be check, bank deposit, or EFTs. If it is M-Pesa, the reference number has to match that payment, because if it doesn't match, then the system will recognized. And then we'll be able to confirm from our end if you've actually paid. The same applies for checks and bank deposits. So once you do that, PSK is the one, someone at PSK approves it if you've met all the requirements, and then you'll get a certificate to download on the same page. So the link to download is just there. You click download, then you can have your license. Basically, that's all we are doing at the PSK portal. We are not giving CPD points on the PSK portal. All CPD claims are done on the PPB portal. There's no transfer of points between PSK to PPB. The new system is an account where we can administer CPD from, and then all our members can log in and participate in our events, and they get the CPD form. So please advise colleagues that we no longer claim CPD tokens or CPD points on the PSK portal. Everything is done on the PPB portal, because again, that's where you're going to do your renewals. Yeah, so up to that, I'm glad that you listened. That's the end of my presentation. Any queries, email them to that email, and you'll be sorted. Thank you very much. That presentation back to Mbao.
Asante sana, Dr. Eric Muringu. Thank you very much for your elaborate presentation. And thank you for also noting that we no longer handle the CPD points on, we no longer handle CPD points from the PSK website. Thank you. So we'll be coming back to your questions, Dr. Eric Muringu, after Dr. Lily's presentation. Dr. Lily, are you with us? Dr. Lily, are you with us? Oh, okay, so
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well, Dr. Lily. So Eric, you can stop sharing to allow Dr. Lily to share her screen. Ladies and gentlemen, now we move to the next part where Dr. Lily, who is the head of CPDs at PPB, is going on to guide us through the CPD sessions and all that the CPD points acquiring involves at PPB. Dr. Lily, are you able to share your screen?
Yeah, let me try to share.
Let me interject, Mbao. I think because of the sheer number of questions, I can see we are already at 24 and several on the chat. I'll request Dr. Eric to start answering them on the chat, on the Q&A tab, making sure that they're visible to all, so that in the open Q&A, we will have reduced the questions. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome.
Hello.
Hello, Dr. I can see your screen and I can also hear you loud and clear.
I continue or you will take up the questions first?
You can continue, Dr. We take up the questions after your presentation.
Okay, thank you. Let me say thank you to PSK for giving me this opportunity to take you through the CPD to subscribe. Most of the things Dr. Eric has explained, for the sake of those who doesn't know more about it, we will repeat it again. So before you start editing, when you want to subscribe, because most of our events, you will see that message subscribe to Ppp. So how do we do it? The first thing you are supposed to do, you go to website for Pharmacy and Poisons Board. This is our website. You use www.pharmacyboardkenya.org. Then you will get a screen like the one you are seeing right now. You go to online services and proceed to pharmacy practice portal. You click that one, pharmacy practice portal. So it will take you to PPP on services portal, where you are supposed to sign in to. Every one of you have an account. So you sign in. So when you sign in, it will take you to your dashboard. And in the dashboard, we have several things. We have my profile, renewal, new facility, variation, CPD, claim tokens, and self-reporting. So our interest here is a CPD, just like the way Eric was showing us, but I'm repeating the way he was telling us. But this icon for CPD. This is where you subscribe all the activities. So when you click CPD icon, it will take you to CPD events. So as a professional, you choose the one you want to subscribe or you want to attend. But in most cases, it will now depend on the provider who to give the tokens to. Like now for PSK, if someone from KPA join PSK, I don't give the tokens to that person. So for me now, if I say I want to join this one for Kenya Pharmaceutical Association, Nairobi chapter, I will click subscribe. Then it will come something to subscribe to event. I click that one. So after I click, I have to make sure that that really I've subscribed to that activity. Sometimes you refresh your computers to ensure that you have subscribed, or you go to claim token to check if you really subscribe. So you see, after I refresh my page, it will turn that subscribe part to be like grayish. So at least for that you have subscribed for your event. Now, before you attend any activity or any event, make sure you start by subscribing. That is the first step. You subscribe it fast. Don't wait until the event is over and then you come back and subscribe. Just like the way Eric said, the event will only be available until PM during the section of the event, that it will be valid up to time. So if you subscribe for that event before you attend the activity. So maybe I will ask Mbau, when you are sending these messages, tell the people to subscribe before attending the activity so that they have in their mind that they are supposed to They are supposed to subscribe before they attend the activity. Subscribe my event. So I have to wait for the day of the event. I will attend the activity. So after I have attended my activity, I will be given tokens. I will come here now to claim the tokens I was given. So I have to click claim tokens. You see now the one I was subscribing, this one, it will show that it will be for 31st. I don't know, between 15 up to 31st. But now when I attend the activity, I will get my token through the email. Mostly they send through email. Immediately you get your token. I request you kindly come and claim your token. Do not wait until the 31st December, then you start coming and claiming your tokens. Because last time there are some people who are saying they forgot to claim their tokens, and the period was given really from 1st January to 31st December for you to claim the tokens. But what I request is immediately you get your token, kindly claim it so that you don't forget. So when you get your token, you come now here and claim. You click this icon, claim token. Then now you put the numbers you will be given, but ensure that the event token, the token number you are putting matches with this event. It will read like this, so that if you put a different number, it will give you a wrong. It will say the token has expired. So that is all about claiming tokens. Now we have other activities which are not in a Ppp portal, or where people go to school, maybe to do masters or degree courses, and they need to come and claim their points. So what we do, you come to self-reporting. You report what you have done. So when you click that icon for self-reporting, it will take you to click here, self-report a CPD activity. So it will give you the event category. You will select the way Eric was showing us. Event attended, you will tell us which one you attend. So here, for what I want to emphasize here is the evidence we give. Most of the people I'm seeing, a lot of people giving me a screenshot of an invitation to join a webinar. That is not an evidence, because for me now I'll be asking myself, how do you attend that activity? So we have evidence which you are supposed to give us, like if you are doing any presentation, you have an invitation letter. At least you will be invited to go and send. You give us that invitation letter. If you attend activity like the way we are doing it now, if you are not able to subscribe and you are given a token, now claim using, you will now self-report using the token you are given. But I don't encourage people not to be subscribing, or they subscribe and forget to claim the tokens. It shall be a bit strict. If you have attended an activity and you have a token, never you claim it, so that it will not be a lot of work on our part to be now reporting the token for the activity you had subscribed. So better you subscribe, get your token and claim it. So we also have a short process. You give us tokens or you give us the certificate. We also have these online learning courses. I've seen most of reporting and usually attach the certificate. So the evidence which is required. Peer review, you give us publication or letter of acceptance, order of a book, give us a scholarly book, and also diploma, professional or fellowship masters. This is where we have a challenge. You will give us an admission letter, which is really evidence. How do I know that you are that school? So apart from the admission letter, you have transcript progress in that semester, so that we know that you are doing it. It's all about self-reporting.
Hello, we seem to have lost Dr. Lily. Let me try get in touch with her to see if she's able to join us as soon as possible. Allow me to get in touch with her to see if she's able to join back as soon as possible. Asante, Dr. Dr. Lily, are you able to broadcast the screen and share your screen again?
It looks like her mic has disappeared.
Yes.
So let her just join again.
Okay.
If it takes a while, you can start asking some questions out loud as we wait for her to come back. But I remind participants to check the Q&A because there are quite a number of questions that have already been answered by Dr. Eric Muringo and by Dr. Ochieng. Back to you, Bao.
Asante, Dr. So I'll probably select questions that Dr. Eric Muringo is able to answer, and probably there's an issue that he had touched on from Ignatius Masharia, who's asking that he joined so many webinars last year. He's a FarmTech who shared his enrollment number, and he's asking he joined in so many webinars last year, and they did not send us a token or a portal rejected. Dr. Eric Muringo, how are you able to respond to him?
Well, first, when we do these events, we look at the people who attended, whether they are members, whether they are paid up members. Sometimes you'll find that some of these events were attended by way more people than those people who subscribed. So priority is given to people who are our members and who are paid up. But again, we don't limit to our members. We always send all the tokens to all members, even KPA members. Sometimes when I send tokens, it's MOs or nurses who get, and then they say we cannot be able to claim this point. So there are many explanations to that. It could be it was stuck in the spam folder, and if something is stuck in the spam folder, it expires in 30 days. But we do not discriminate whether it's a KPA member or a PS, whether it's a KPA member or not our member. We give to all the participants, but after counter-checking everything. So in this case, there are many people who got maybe Ignatius. I'm sure if you attended more than one PSK event, you must have received at least one because we do not limit that. But everyone who attends gets a point. For our members, it's where we check, are these people paid up or not? And if in the case where 800 people attended and maybe 300 people are the ones who subscribed, we'll first get the 300 subscriptions, the tokens to our members first. Thank you, Mbao.
Dr. Eric Muringo. Dr. Lilibet, are you able to share your screen again? Or she's trying to seamlessly come back. So Dr. Eric, another question for you. Where on the PSK portal does one download the certificate for those on checkoff payment system of membership? Now, this is a member, Dr. Philet Bichanga is asking how are they able to download the membership certificate if they're on checkoff? How will you guide her, Dr. Eric?
Yeah, those on checkoff, they usually pay 800 shillings, maybe 836 shillings per month, but we do not wait until December to give them their certificate because checkoff is a constant thing that we are sure that member will pay. Even as early as January, they can use the same process of applying for the renewal certificate. They indicate bank transfer, for example, or cash, as long as a checkoff member, if this, as long as that's sake of member, it will be approved. And if that is late, just make a call, and Rachel knows how to approve. Rachel will sort you. So as long as it's check off, you qualify to get your license even in January. So you just apply the normal process and you'll get your certificate.
Okay, asante sana daktari. Dr. Lilibet, can you hear us now? I can see you've shared your screen. Dr. Bet? Okay, we seem to be losing and getting to her, but we will be able to probably ensure that she's back well. So Dr. Eric Muringu, this is a question on a member, Dr. Bina. She's asking, I had attended more than 20 CPD webinars. However, I could only claim 17 tokens. So now what happens for my renewal of license? So probably, Dr. this is for the members who have not yet attained their 20 CPD points. What do you have? What do you answer? How do you respond to them on that, Dr.
It's a good question. If you attended 20 CPD webinars, when you attend, you get that link that says, thank you for registering for this, join it at this time, then something like that. So you have a record of which tokens you missed, if you had subscribed to it. So if you come with the events that did not feature or you did not get tokens for, we can handle from there. We can look at an event that happened in the past, but you cannot create a new one. So if you say, for example, you attended the conference, you did not get points for that day, I'll be able to check, did you attend the conference as you said? And then go back and award that particular one. But that one is based on the events. So you have to know which event you did not detect you did not get a token for. So if you email the events that you missed, that will be handled. Back to you, Mbao.
Hello. Thank you very much for that, Dr. Eric Muringu. So now we move on to another question before that. So Peter Njoroge is asking that he took on an intern, that he took in an intern pharmacist. How does he claim that point? And no, probably that is where Dr. Lily was touching on the self-reporting part. And he's also asking that he attended many webinars which did not appear on the portal. So first question is the intern, where does he claim the points for the intern? I will humbly ask Director Dr. Wilfred Ochieng to probably respond on that. How does Peter Njoroge claim the points for having an intern at his point, at his center that carry? Dr. Ochieng, are you with us? Dr. Ochieng? So probably let me try getting to Dr. on the other end. So Eric,
yes.
What happens when Peter Njoroge attended so many webinars when they did not seem to appear on the PPP portal for subscribing? What would you advise on that, Dr.
In the case where an event did not happen, maybe the event was scheduled in a hurry. Again, it's a case by case. We can handle that case by case. Just call the office or email the operations email, and we'll handle that. For the intern pharmacist, this again falls under self-reporting, but there's an issue with that. Will self-reporting the preceptorship of an intern, because it was not included in the list of the activities, but it's something that PPB committed to solving. So in that case, it can be handled by PPB. They can advise, do you claim it under another category of event, or how do you get the points? But it's a genuine concern, because among the list of activities that you can self-report on, preceptorship of interns is not listed. That's an issue that we raised, and PPB assured us they are working on it.
Okay, asante Daktari for that response. So that is well answered. So we now move on to the next question. Probably asking the members kindly to ensure that they type in all the questions at the Q&A section. So there's a question, Dr. Eric, on last year. Sunaya Basani is saying, so last year, since there was a little, he's asking, do you make sure that all members now get the 20 CPD points? So this is probably the last time Dr. Eric Muringu will be tackling this question. Kindly speak about the remedial CPD points, CPD questions, Dr. Eric.
One thing I mentioned, it's I don't know which confusion did the member indicate. Is it that they claimed points on the PSK portal? I want to assume it's that one.
From my understanding, Dr. It's probably the confusion caused by COVID. Eh?
Yeah.
Yes, the work and the webinar confusion probably. Eh? So he's asking, how does he ensure that he gets to the 20 CPD points?
Okay. The advice we got from PPB is that they'll allow the system to accommodate remedial programs, which the system does not yet allow for that. So it's still work in progress. We don't know how a remedial program should run. We can advise there after we given a proper direction by PPB, because right now, PSK as a provider, we can create events that will earn points for 2020. We cannot create an event that will earn you points for we can create for 2021, but we cannot retrospectively create events that will give you points for 2020. So again, we are waiting for the remedial programs. We have modules, but we don't have the powers to create such events. For now, we can only advise that we be patient and wait for further direction.
Okay, asante sana. The member has even, in fact, clarified that she was a bit confused by the transition between the PSK and the PPB website, Daktari, yeah?
Okay.
So there is another question that there are few meetings labeled as Coast South Nyanza. These meetings are these meetings fast for only for those in those counties? Second, should the PSK allow all members who subscribe to attend? So these are the branch-based meetings, Daktari, which are online. Eh? There's a member who's asking, are these meetings only going to be for only those on that side?
Well, I'll answer quickly because I also see the questions are streaming in. Events can be branch-based, but even so, there are some branches that provide for CPD for their own. But as long as if it's a PSK event, and as long as you can attend, you're free to subscribe. And when you attend, because we only award the tokens per the attendance. We don't have a problem if a member from Coast attends an event in Turkana. If they are subscribed and they are in the attendance list, they'll get the point. So some branches run events, and it's PSK that creates those events on the PPB portal. And any branch within PSK can request for such, and we do. There are still some other branches that run their CPD programs, specifically Coast and also Central Rift branches. They are accredited providers on their own. So it depends on the branch also. So feel free to attend an event and you'll get the token if you are our member, if you attended.
Okay, asante Daktari. So do the CMEs that we continuously and jointly hold with other organizations, do they earn the members as CPD points, Daktari?
Yes, if KMA has partnered with PSK, we give the tokens. For example, the one that happened yesterday, we have awarded points for. We've created the event that is running even to today. So if someone did not subscribe yesterday, they can still subscribe, but it expires today. So yes, if you see a PSK logo and any other logo, whether it's KMPD or KMA or KPA, we'll give tokens, we'll give CPD points for that.
Okay, asante Daktari. So a question from Dr. Joan Wanyutu. she's asking, how does she claim points for last year events? How do we go about that, Dr. Ali?
Last year events were supposed to be claimed before 31st of December. So
Okay.
even the tokens expire. But if someone attended an event last year and they had subscribed, then they can email us with that list of the events. If they had subscribed, they have a chance of getting the point. But if they did not, then that's where the point is lost.
Okay, Daktari. Now, Daktari, this is a question that has now, it's the fourth time it's popping out. Popping up. Members are asking, this event is not on the PPP portal, so they could not subscribe. Daktari, explain to them why this event is not on the PPP portal.
Thank you, Mbawa. I think you mentioned even when you started that you even answered that question preemptively. The reason why this event did not appear, it's because we are training members on how to secure their CPD throughout the year. And it's not practice-based, it's assisting members to be more efficient at CPD. So this one was not accredited. It does not fall under CPD learning because there is nothing scientific about how you claim your points. It's for the knowledge, for the good of the members. It's good to know information.
Asante for that, Daktari. So the other question is from Dr. Yaila. He's asking, why does it take 2 to 3 weeks for members to get tokens? Is it possible probably to generate the tokens quick enough, Daktari? What is your response for that?
As I said, we do checks when we have these events. We do checks. We check, are these people our members first? Are these people paid up members? So that's a background check, which is important to do as long as the token does not expire. And you know that tokens expire in December. So if it takes up to 2 weeks and not more than 2 weeks, I did not mention 3 weeks. If it takes up to 2 weeks, I think it's good practice even for PSK as you administer CPD.
Okay, asante Daktari. That's a question that we have that is well elaborated now. The members were still asking on the CPD point, on the self-reporting, how long does it take from PPP side? Dr. Lily, are you with us now? Dr. Lily?
Yes, Daktari, I'm with you.
Yes, well, a member is asking, how long does it take for the CPD, the self-reporting points to be for member to be able to view them on their site for the approval?
Okay, it should take around 1 to 2 days because I usually review daily.
Okay.
So unless I'm ill somewhere, but it should take around 1 to 2 days.
Okay, asante sana Daktari for that response. That's 1 to 2 days for the portal. So a member is asking, on self-reporting, on the ongoing postgraduate degree or any other one, can one keep claiming points for all the years in school? Second, last year she self-reported and it was approved, but the points did not reflect. Why is that, Dr. Lily?
Yeah, according to our exemption, anyone who is in school, so long as you give us the evidence that you are in school, you give us the admission letter, you give us the progress in school that you are doing, we give you all the points. But for the person who is saying he or she was not able to see the points, maybe it went to 2021. So can he or she get in touch with me so that I can rectify?
Okay. Asante that, Dr. Lily. Another question is, a number of events last year had redeemable tokens, even though I had properly subscribed. I was informed many other members had similar issues, and it will be rectified before 31st. What is being done on the IT front to reduce such errors where tokens sent to members refuse to claim? Dr. Lily, are you able to respond to that?
Repeat again the question.
A number of events last year had irredeemable tokens, even though I had properly subscribed. I was informed many other people had similar issues, and it will be rectified before 31st December. What is being done on the IT front to reduce such errors where tokens sent to members do not refuse to claim?
Dr. Ocheng to assist in that question.
Okay. Hello.
I didn't get the question, please.
Hello, Dr. Chen. The question is that a number of events last year had irredeemable tokens,
yes,
even though they had properly subscribed. The member is asking what is being done on the IT front to reduce such errors where tokens sent to members refuse to claim.
Irredeemable tokens, meaning that tokens were allocated, but they were not able to
claim the tokens.
Claim on time, or the tokens were, allow me to use this word, they were not good.
Yes, I have allowed you to tell you the tokens were not good. That's what the member is asking.
Yeah. I think what I can encourage members, whenever you have issues with your tokens, and I think Eric also talked about this, you just need to get back in touch with the provider on time so that it can be sorted out. Because sometimes now it's very difficult to know which tokens had issues last year as at this time. But if you notice there's a problem when you're trying to claim, I think you can just get back. If it is PSK that was hosting the activity, just get back so that it can be sorted. Yeah.
Asante Daktari.
Okay.
This goes to Dr. Lily and probably Dr. Eric Muringwe. How do we help members who have difficulty using technology to register for points? For example, the retired or our dear senior members. Dr. Lily, Dr. Eric, how do we assist the seniors in the profession? Dr. Eric, can you go first?
Last week when we had CPD administrators stakeholders meeting, that question arise, and we say we will be dealing it one by one.
Okay.
So maybe the person who has a challenge can visit us, we deal with that case. So it will be an individual issue.
Asante for that, Daktari. The same question is being repeated by Dr. Ndego Wajenga. Taratibu hizi ni ndefu na ngumu sana, hasa kwa sisi ambao tuna changamoto za mtandao. Tafadhali tafuta njia za rahisisha taratibu za kupata alama za CPD. Je, Dr. Eric, kunao njia ya kurahisisha kupata CPD kwa mfumo wa kiteknolojia, ama itabidi sasa daktari amepewa mafunzo ya ziada kuhusu kutumia teknolojia? Dr. Eric Muringu?
Are you reading the question written in Swahili?
Yes, daktari.
Okay, Dr. Ndegwa Wanjenga, tunaitikia, tunakubaliana na wewe kuwa kuna changamoto, lakini kama ulivyoambiwa hapo juu kwamba kama wewe ni mfamasia mkongwe, kama wewe kutumia teknolojia inakutatiza kidogo, tunaweza kukusaidia case by case. But I know you, Daktari, you've been prompt in your CPD, but in any case, you need help, call us. If it's subscribing, if it's renewals, if it's CPD events, call us, then we'll be able to handle that if we have the events. And again, PPB assures us that for cases that need special attention, they can be able to sort one by one. Asante.
Asante, Daktari, for that response. Now the members are saying that I noticed there's an anonymous attendee who's saying, I noticed that KMA webinars always send token late or not at all. Please, will you fix this for 2021? Probably a student member for that. We have Dr. Eric Muringo has explained that why this process takes a time, because we need to get the attendance list from KMA. Then it comes to Dr. Eric Muringo for him to verify that the members actually attended and they are PSK members. So we will try as much as possible to reduce the turnaround time. We will reduce the turnaround time for that. So we go ahead to the next question from Patrick John. Dr. Eric, PSK is doing well, but the self-reporting part is not as friendly as it sounds. Most of the activities are rejected and there is no explanation. Can PPB create a column to explain the reason for rejecting a claim? Dr. Lily? Dr. Lily, are you with us?
You are breaking the carrier. I didn't get your question.
The question is, most of the activities claimed on the self-reporting part claimed for are rejected and there is no explanation. Can PPB create a column to explain the reason? Dr. Ari, are you with us? Hello, Dr. Ari. Dr. Eric?
Yes.
Yes, Dr. Chen, go ahead.
You mind repeating the question? I'm somewhere it's a bit noisy, so I can't get.
It's okay, Dr. Let me take you for a point on that. PSK side is doing well, but self-reporting part is not as friendly as it sounds. Most activities claimed for are rejected and there is no explanation. Can PPB create a column to explain the reason for rejecting a claim? That is a self-reporting claim.
Okay, that's pretty straightforward. I think that is something we can do.
Okay, Dr.
That's something we can do, yeah. Thank you.
Asante. Dr. Eric from Dr. Weganjo, he says he has 3 tokens that he could not claim because the events were not listed on the claim token list, yet he had subscribed. How does he claim that, Dr. Eric?
Yeah, that's a common complaint that I had subscribed, but I can't find it. The truth is, if you can't find it, then your subscription was not successful. That's the importance of contact checking whether it's successful. How do you do that? The subscription button changes from black to gray. You can as well confirm it and claim tokens. That's where all the events appear, the events that you subscribed to. So in that case, if you did not subscribe, if you can't find the event on your portal, it means that your subscription was not successful, and it means that the token that you get cannot be used. And even if I was to manually to award you the point, I cannot find you among the list of subscribers. So it's important going forward, everyone to make sure that the subscription is successful. And I've mentioned the ways of confirming that in my presentation.
Asante, Daktari. The other question is to PPB. Why is it taking long for practice license to be processed, even after having fully paid and was applied a month ago?
Thank you. I'll attempt to answer that. Normally, our target for renewal of licenses, when we have what we call status quo, everything remains the same, is within 3 days. That is 72 hours. And actually, the time we had set the system so that automatically the license would be renewed. Then now why we are getting a delay is because last year we introduced the KYC. So we had to kind of like go through documents manually, even when it's a renewal and it's status quo. And of course, in the process, we picked quite a number of anomalies where people would be attaching this business registration for somebody else, or that kind of stuff. So basically, I'm not giving an excuse, but our target still remains within 72 hours. I know this year we've had a little backlog, which of course I answered the person who asked that question. I typed the text. I said we'll target to finish them maybe by early next week. But also there's another category of people, maybe somebody has applied for license renewal, but you have not paid. If you have not paid, the system doesn't allow us to make any decision on your application. So you can get a situation where somebody applies, let's say in November, but they don't make payment until January. So such a situation, we consider that application to be complete the day you pay. And sometimes, you go through this every time and you can't make a decision because the system doesn't allow you. So for those who have paid, they have their CPD points correct and all that, target is 72 hours. We'll try to improve to make sure that it remains that. Yeah, thank you.
Asante, Daktari. Just before you go, Daktari, there's a question from a member asking, does being a member of a professional body acquire him or her points?
Being a member of a professional body?
Yes, as PSK.
It doesn't get you points, but attending professional body meetings can get you points, yeah. You can be a member, but you don't even attend meetings.
Asante for that response.
Unalipa tu pesa na unaenda.
Okay, asante, Daktari. So Dr. Eric Muringu, probably we are trying to, we shall be closing the next 5 minutes. So esteemed members and esteemed attendees, all these questions that you are asking, you're going to formulate them into an FAQ, such that we're going to even send the responses back on email for all those who attended and others who have missed. We're going to generate all these questions into an FAQ. So Dr. Joan Wakori is asking, if one proves they have attended an event whose token has expired, is there a way of still awarding those lost points, Dr.
Yes, yeah. I mentioned this again in another question which I was answering. If you attended an event, you have a token that is expired, and you had subscribed, then I'll be able to help if you email the screenshot of what says it's expired. You can be assisted from there, but you have to make sure that you'd subscribe to that event.
Okay, asante, Daktari. So probably the last question to PPB, is it possible to provide the link, to provide the provider's link on the PPB portal, to make the provider, to provide a link on PPB portal active? Is it possible?
I think that could be a question to us, and I answered to some of these questions. I've already answered. They are in the answered column. When we create events, sometimes because you are supposed to create an event a week before it happens, these links are not available. So we leave the registration link blank on the event on the PPB portal, but it is not the case for many events. When it really happens, we always send registration links or webinar links via SMS, via WhatsApp, sometimes even via our email platforms, that is the direct mail and also the newsletter. So these links are always available. If you are a member, you always get a PSK SMS before an event. For example, for this event today, we got two SMSs today. So the links are very much available elsewhere if they are not on the PPP portal.
Asante, Daktari. Thank you very much for your elaborate and taking your time to respond to all the questions asked. Probably to members, I will remind you that whoever, if you attended this webinar and others who are not able to attend, we will generate an FAQ form and be able to answer elaborately on these questions. And also we will be sharing Dr. Eric Muringu's PowerPoint. Also to notice that this webinar is being broadcast, shall be recorded live. Is being recorded and shall be posted on PSK's YouTube page, such that you are able to go back and view the video on YouTube, on PSK YouTube page, which is at Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya, where you'll be able to get all these questions attended. To our esteemed panelists, asanteni sana, Dr. Eric Muringu, thank you for the thorough job, well done. Dr. Lily, asante for the time and walk members through the step-by-step which they're supposed to use to register for the webinar. Dr. Wilfred Ochieng, asante for making a time, even while having other activities and engagements, you've still ensured that you are there to ensure that you respond to members of the professional body of which you're a member, and thank you for the resolute support. So without further much ado, ladies and gentlemen, I'll call upon the CEO, Dr. Daniela Munene, to probably give us the closing remarks before we fully end the meeting. Dr. Are you here with us?
Hi, Mbao.
Hello, Dr. I'm requesting you to give us the closing remarks. Yeah?
Yes, thank you to all our distinguished speakers, Dr. Lilibet, Dr. Eric Moringo, Dr. Ochieng, and even the PSK president who had to leave earlier. If people have not been able to catch the answers to all their questions, please look out for the FAQ that will be shared by Mbao in your email. Otherwise, have a good afternoon. Thank you very much.
Asante sana and a great afternoon.